In this video, we'll go over character data type in C++. In C++, you can actually declare a variable to be of the type character. Let's say C1. I'm going to declare it, and when you initialize that character variable to a single character, you use a single quotation. So I'm going to set C1 to 0, basically. This is character 0, not number 0. So you have to keep that in mind. I can declare another character. Let's say C2 is equal to, let's say this is character lowercase a. Another character, C3, uppercase a, let's say, within single quotation. And also character C4, and let's just come up with some character, let's say $ symbol. There you go. So I have declared 4 different characters, C1 through C4, and initialized them to some values. And when I go to cout and print these characters, the character will appear actually. So this is this takes care of C1. Here is C2, and we'll go after C3. And finally, I will have C4 and end line. So I can run this program, and you will notice that all the characters will appear on the screen. 0, A, uppercase A, and the $sign. The characters in C++, or the character data type, also have integer equivalent, meaning that I can actually print out the integer equivalent to character 0 by just casting it as an integer. So there's C1. I'm going to basically do the same thing. So I think it's better to just copy, Control C, and then paste it over line 11, Control V, and then cast each of these character types to an integer type. So that's an integer, this is an integer, another integer for C3, and as I said, every character has an integer equivalent. This is the ASCII character set, basically. We'll run this. So for example, character 0 is represented by 48, character lowercase a 97, uppercase A is 65, and $sign is 36. So keep that in mind. Now, just to continue with this, I can actually declare an integer variable, let's say x1, and assign to it, let's say 20, and then output x1, right, which is number 20, and also cast it as a character to see what is number 20 represents in terms of a character, right? So once again, I'm going to run this. So number 20 really corresponds to character, it seems like, again, end of line, end of paragraph marker, right? This Q that you see here. So I'm going to close this, perhaps try another one. Let's say, I don't know, let's say 15. We'll try 15. Let me also place some space here so it's more visible. The output will be more visible. I'm going to run this one more time. So character 15 is a star, basically. That's the representation. Okay. Now I can also combine 2 characters. For example, I can combine C1 and C2. And in this particular case, their integer equivalent, I think C1 is 0, that is 48, will be added to C2, which is 97, I believe, equivalent of lowercase a. So the result should be 15145, I believe. So we can test it out. I'm going to go to cout and say, okay, add C1 and C2, and let's take a look at the output. And we'll run this as well. And the output comes out to be 145. And if you want to see the character equivalent to that, you can actually say what is, you can cast it as a character and see what is the character that is assigned the integer 145. It is this strange character here, whatever that is, right? Now also another thing you can do, you can actually increment a character. I can go in there and say C3 plus plus. That will increment C3. C3 is uppercase A, which is represented by 65, I believe. So this becomes basically 65 plus 1, which is equal to 66. And I believe 66 obviously will be uppercase B. So if I see out C3 now, end line, if I print C3, I've incremented it by 1, so it moves to the next character, which will be uppercase B. There you go. Right. Also, the character data type, they have a number of built-in functions associated to characters. One of them is the function isDigit, which receives a character, let's say C2, receives a character and returns either true or false, depending on whether it is actually a digit or not. So C2, right here, C2 is a character, so isDigit returns false, end line. And false is 0, of course. Integer representation of false. Another function that we can call and utilize is the function isAlpha. This one checks to see whether the character is alphabet, or in this particular case, let's say we'll try it on C3. That should return true, right? Because C3 is uppercase A. Another function is numeric, is alphanumeric, basically. That's another one that we have. So there's alphanumeric function. Let's say $ is assigned to C4. So I'm going to apply is alphanumeric, ALNUM, C4. So is alphanumeric returns true if the character is either numeric or alphabetical. So in this case, it's $. It should return false, right? And you have other functions as well, such as toUpper, which converts a character to uppercase. So if I pass it C2, it will basically returns the uppercase version of C2, which will be uppercase A in this case. And also we have the function toLower, right? I can send it the character C3, which is currently B. I can look at it and see whether it has turned it or it has returned the lowercase version of it. Of course, there's something in here. You have to cast them. You see the numeric value of toUpper and toLower. So let me run this. As we run it, you notice, let me bring it down here. So line 17, cout C3 gave us B. Now isDigit C2. C2 is not a digit. It's an alphabetical. So it should be basically false. That's the 0 for it. Is C3 alphabetical? That's true. That's yes. So that's the one that you see right here. Is C4 either alphabetical or numerical? C4, no, it's a $. There's a 0. That's the output. C2 is lowercase a. We want to convert it to uppercase. Well, we don't convert it. The function returns the uppercase version of it. In this case, it will be 65 and 98 for the lowercase. If you want to see the actual character, you can, for example, right here, have it casted as character. So I'll run it one more time. And you will notice right here, line 21, C2, which is lowercase a, we wanted to turn it to uppercase and then cast it as character. That's A.